Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Snooker 19 career, the other O'Sullivan with me, Daniel. It's episode 22 and today we're back for what might be a slightly shorter episode, but it will certainly be a dramatic one as we face world number 8 Kyren Wilson in the group stages of the Snooker Championship League. It's an interesting tournament, one that I've not played in before, a slightly shorter match length, best of 3 frames almost all the way through, but obviously you were with me last time as we played in the Gibraltar Open. We got through to the semi-finals and we're about to face Judd Trump off camera. Unfortunately, the reason I didn't show you any of that is because we got absolutely battered 3-0, and unfortunately that put us out of the tournament to end our winning streak. So not the best, our high break's still over 120 and we're moving up in the rankings quite nicely, but we weren't able to add a big sum of prize money as Judd Trump showed his extra quality. His long potting really made the difference as our average safety play didn't get us out of trouble. We only looked like winning one frame all match, and on that occasion we made a rookie error. But today we're back with Kyren Wilson, the group stages of the Championship League, a completely different style of event, and it seems to have made things a little bit more exciting. I'm really enjoying the shorter match length and the fact that it's just a bit of a shootout. So we're going to go and get back into the game. We have played a bit of it already, and if you can see as we move on to the next screen, it's 1-1 and we're into a decider. So that's the reason we're back for this one. A massive thank you to everyone that's been following the series so far. I really do appreciate your ongoing support with the series, and hopefully we'll be able to pull off a big win today to progress in yet another tournament. It doesn't matter what we're playing in, we want to stay in good form until the World Championships, so we can go into that one with the highest possible confidence and try and put on a big shock in the big tournament. Did Kyren Wilson just miss all the reds from the break-off? If he may have got a little thin kiss on them, but I think he may have committed a foul there. We've got to see what's gone on. He'd not made a contact with the ball from the break-off. That's something I've never seen before on this game. It's the first one I'm playing since an update, so I'm hoping that won't mean things are going wrong. We're going to force him to continue from there and see if he can hit them from a slightly different angle. If he misses them again, we'll know there's trouble, but thankfully this time it's a good defensive shot. He's hit the brown for the second time in a row though on this occasion he gets away with it. So it's just going to be a safety from us to start off with. Hopefully we can get up behind that brown. Okay, we've set up the safety. We're aiming to get up between a green and brown. 36% power off the outside of the red, and let's just see how close we get to our target. We've overhit it slightly, but that shouldn't be too bad. It just means we might come back past the brown. That's exactly what happens, but he is going to be hampered a little with the brown just behind his bridge, so that may make things a little more tricky for him, and again we've not left any reds on. That's the priority at this stage. I think it is going to be a bit of a tense one. 2 players in good form playing in a decider, and it's going to be a treat for the fans at least as we go for yet another safety shot. But we do want to try and open up the reds a bit more, so we've made contact with 2 or 3 of them there, and we've opened up the pack just very slightly, as well as getting the cue ball safe behind the yellow. That's an absolutely brilliant safety shot, and it's going to make things very tricky for Wilson. He's trying to go between yellow and blue. He's just about managed that as well, although he's collided with the black on the way through, and he's got very lucky if he hasn't left something on there. It looks like all the pots to the middle are covered. I think he might have got away with an awful one. It looks like he's covered everything. What a bit of luck for the world number 8. We can't even pot the long red to the corner as he's even managed to cover that, so we might have to go for this one to the top right, but I'm not entirely confident about our chances with it. So 27% power and we'll stick for the blue, and fingers crossed we'll be able to start our break. We've underhit it slightly, that might be the first problem, but it's dead straight and into the pocket, didn't even touch the jaws, and we've got a good angle on the blue to come down for some reds, so it's a pretty good start to the break in the end. Maybe we can build a big one from here. It'd be nice not to let him back at the table. Let's go for that blue to the middle pocket then, and we want to get the cue ball down the table. We want to leave ourselves some chances at reds, so 33% power is what we're going for. We've overhit it and that's going to be a problem. We may even go in off here. We're going to collide with the red and we've not got lucky with the bounce, but I think we've still got that red to the middle. It's hovering over the pocket pretty nicely. So that's going to be an easy enough pot, and we've got away with our first poor positional shot. It's the one part of our game that has started to fall away recently, and it is an area of concern moving into the World Championships, as we've underhit that one as well, and we'll be lucky if we get past the yellow. The red goes in and we have just passed it, so now we've got a good angle to pop the brown. It's a pretty thin cut, but it means we can get down the table, and that's the most important thing to continue the break. Hopefully we'll be able to get a good position on at least one of these reds, as there's so many of them in the cluster that it'd be hard not to get on any of them. 43% power, again it's slightly under hit, but that looks a far better positional shot. We just kissed the outside of one of the reds, and we've got onto another to the bottom corner. I think that's what we were looking for, and I think we've managed to get away with it. It just about pots. It's a good angle in the end, and we're going to try and hit it with 25% power. The idea is that the cue ball will come back up, and then we'll be on for the black to the bottom corner. But we've overhit it, and that's not the case, but again another colour's come to our rescue. The pink will go to the bottom corner, and I think we're in a good position to build. We've just got to split 2 or 3 of these reds, and once we've done that it should be plain sailing. Unfortunately we haven't got the pink to choose from though, so we are going to have to come up for green or blue. I'm going to go green for now and just screw forward off the top cushion, and hopefully we can get ourselves back down the table. So 63% power, we've slightly underhit it, and with 1 extra percent it's not made a great deal of difference. We're almost back to the blue spot, and we're going to be a little bit hampered there, but I'm hoping we'll still have at least 1 red that's potable. Unfortunately the only red we've got a chance at is this really tricky one on the cushion near the bottom right corner. We've blocked the 2 on the other side with the black, and it's going to make it really hard to get on a colour, but let's just try and add 1 more point for now. 33% power to get at least a bit of an angle to come back up, but we've missed the pot and we're lucky that it's fallen safe, though I'm sure we may have left 1 or 2 to the middle. He's going for the pot either way, and he's dropped it in beautifully to the corner pocket, so that could be the end of our chance in this match, as Kyren Wilson's been pretty good in his other frame. The other one he won, he got a decent break, and I think this time it's going to be difficult to come back. We'll make sure he pots the blue and gets on a red, and he's done that perfectly, so I think we'll let him build it now. We'll come back if we get another chance at the table, if not we'll be celebrating Wilson's victory. We're back at the table, and again Kyren Wilson just adding 12. It seems that the breaks are far lower in deciding frames, as we have a bit of jitters on both sides of the table. He has played a very good positional shot though, so we're just going to try and get back up the table. Hopefully we won't overhit it. The reds have all gone safe, and we've managed to get up behind the baulk line, so I think we're pretty happy with where that's ended. I'm sure we'll find a long pot from somewhere, but I think it may be tricky for him this time. So we've got the applause, and they're going to play the safety, and in the end Kyren Wilson's resorted to defence, so maybe it was a better positional shot, and I know it's only 1, but can we say we're improving? I think he may have left us a long red here. I can just see one, the second down from the pink spot. Let's have a look to see if that cuts. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy one, but it might be one we want to have a go at. So I think we're going to go for it. Fortune favours the brave, and we're not the best positionally. I don't trust us to win this exchange, so we're going to go for the magic pot instead. Maybe not the best idea, but hopefully it'll pay off. The red's potted, and that's the good news. Unfortunately the rest isn't so great. We haven't even got a colour to choose from here. The pink's too thin a cut to the middle. The black's now covered by one of the loose reds, so we're going to go for the blue to the far corner pocket. Hopefully we can cut it in, or at least get the cue ball to a relatively safe space. So we want to leave ourselves in a decent position and give ourselves a chance if we do manage to pot it, but also we don't want to leave Wilson with a good chance, and that leaves us in a little bit of a dilemma. So we're going to go all out for the pot, but we're not going to go for position. It's a really atrocious effort at it, but we've got a little bit of luck off the top jaws there. The cue ball only just passes the yellow in the end, and it makes it a bit of a tricky pot for Wilson. That black by the left corner pocket as well is really helping us out, but I think he's found a route to get one of them through, and unfortunately it drops into the corner. Although having said that, I don't think he's got on a colour. He may have covered the blue he was aiming for there, so let's see what he goes for in the end. He can just about get through to the blue. So Kyren Wilson should certainly wrap it up with his chance, as the reds are spread beautifully for him, so we'll go and let him get on with his break, as he'll take the lead after the next red and colour. Fingers crossed he'll make a mistake at some point, but I think it could be our second defeat in succession. We're back at the table, and it's bad news, I'm afraid. Take away the jitters from Kyren Wilson's side of the table. He's got himself up to 69 points, a lead of 49 with just 25 remaining on the table, and we're certainly not going to be able to claw that back. So unfortunately we're going to have to concede the frame, and with it the match. Kyren Wilson wins our group stage game, and unfortunately it's another defeat in close succession for us. So we lose the match, and we're starting to show some poor signs of form, and that doesn't bode well with the World Championship Championships next up. Fingers crossed we'll be able to do well in this one and the China Open as the rest of the tournaments go on before we get into the decider in the World Championships. It would be a dream end of the season to go on a run in that one, but it doesn't look likely. It's just a bit too soon. We've got to get our concentration back at the table, but we will go and see what's next up for Sean O'Sullivan. I was hoping it would be a short episode as we just quickly whip off the deciding frame, but unfortunately it's gone the other way, with Kyren Wilson taking advantage of our errors. Maybe again we've been a bit too aggressive, and perhaps I'm underrating our safety play, as we seem to be winning more games when we play them, but now we've got to do well in the group stages. After losing to Judd Trump and then against Kyren Wilson, this second game is particularly important. If we lose this one we're effectively out, and we've got another young top 16 player to face. So it's going to be difficult, certainly not an easy one. Only £100 when we lose in the group stages, that's certainly not going to help us into the top 32. So we're going to be stuck at 33 or below for the foreseeable future, particularly if our form continues to dip. Our pro's having a decent season, but that's 2 defeats on the bounce now, and it's a bit of a worry looking forward, as we've got Graham Dott in the third group match, a player we've beaten comfortably before, but if our form dips I'm sure he'll be able to topple us. If we go to the schedule, I think it is just this one and the China Open left before we get into the qualifiers for the World Championship. If we'd just been a bit higher in the world rankings, we wouldn't have to gone through that early stages. If we'd just been a little higher in the rankings, we would have faced a lower ranked opponent in the first round of it, but unfortunately that doesn't look like it's going to be the case unless we go off and win the China Open. So plenty to ponder and consider how we're going to get our form back, but if you did enjoy this episode, even if it was seeing us fall to defeat, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments how you think I should approach games. Are we perhaps underrating our safety play slightly? Do you think we'd stand a better chance by sticking to it? It certainly worked in some tournaments, but then again in the Gibraltar Open we got to the semi-finals going all out attack. So I'm really not sure what the best approach is at the moment. It's something we have to find as an inexperienced player. Our ranking's pretty good considering we're still in the first season, but there is a bit of a gap now. We're sort of in a world of our own there. Ricky Walden, a pretty well known name below us, and then the likes of Mark Davis not far above. But plenty to think about, and I'm going to have to decide how I want to approach these games, although for our first season we've been in 2 ranking finals and lost against Judd Trump in another semi. So we've not done too bad for a rookie player, and hopefully we'll be able to get back in form for the World Championships. You never know, we might win the next 2 group games and all of our problems will be erased and you'll be back to watch us in the latter stages, though of course that is a little bit optimistic. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories. We've also got 3 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career. That's every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. A massive thank you to everyone that supported that content, as well as our Ashes Test playthrough beforehand. I've really been blown away with the support for both, so thank you to everyone that's given it a try. This career will obviously be back next Friday as always, hopefully a little bit later on in the tournament. I don't know if we'll be able to sneak through in the group stages, if not we'll probably be in the China Open. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series as always. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another important episode as we edge ever closer to the World Snooker Championship.